Components of Gadaa system. Hello everyone. Do you understand what we learned in the previous lesson? Good. In the previous lesson, we defined Gadaa and examined its meaning, origin, and dimensions. We understood Gadaa as a sacred law, a system of governance, a measure of time, and a moral philosophy guiding the Oromo way of life. The Gadaa system is structured into three primary subsystems. 1. Sadarkali Gadaa or the age grades. 2. Kiriya or the age sets. And 3. The generational classes or Masinsa or Gogisa. 1. Age grades or Sadarkali or Gulantali Gadaa. Every Oromo male passes through 11 Gadaa grades, each lasting 8 years. Each stage defines social roles, responsibilities, and privileges. From Dabali or infancy to Gadaa Muji, elderhood. These stages trace the human journey from dependence to wisdom. The Dabali were considered too little and they have any particular political position. Not only are the boys created to resemble girls, but they are also definitely associated with them. Nonetheless, it is customary for parents to never physically discipline their Dabali. They receive no true name prior to the Makbasa Gubisa Dabali name-giving ceremony. They change their names to reflect the opposite of who they were. That is, not lovely names like Kori, Yelesa, Sare. Names are given to them. Two or Rubu or Junior Gami. The actual ceremony was divided into two parts, the naming ceremony or Makabasa, and the hair shaving or Gubisa ritual. After the procedure was finished, they were called by their new name, highly masculine names by their parents and friends. In addition to the terminological and behavioral changes, the child also skill a shift in the locus of his activities. Their roles looking after the small livestock and horses of their family, by myth, riddles, stories of different types, Gararsa, cultural psalms, they learned their environment, counting numbers with analogies and genealogy. There were no political obligations attached to them. 3. Gami Guguda, or Ponne or Senior Gami. It is the time when young men take the family herds into the undomesticated river valleys. They call it Fora. Grade 3 also marks the beginning of an important subsidiary institution that Burana call Hariya, age set. This is a group of people born in the same 8-year period. They are an age set. Yuki Tabori is the initiation rite used to transition junior gamis into senior gamis. To refer to Tabori, the man of tomorrow, as Tabori, their roles, hunting trips, livestock raids, and war parties. For Kuha or Kwangdala. The transition from the third to the fourth Gadaa grade is one of the most important events of the Gadaa system. At this point, the Gadaa class and the age set come into being as formal communal groups. Leaders are elected for both groups. The name of the most senior man in each group becomes the name of the group as a whole. They wear clothes like adults. The boys left their maternal huts and assembled at the site of the shrine. For the first time, they had come together as a Gadaa class, age set. They assembled for the purpose of building a large enclosure to serve as their isolation camp. All the 7 Ajala counselors are required to live and nomadize together from now until the group subdivides 16 years later. 5. Abo or Babadumu or Junior and Senior Warrior. 3340. The Robber Review may be exceptionally imperative organized within the life cycle of the young people whose complex careers we have been taking after up to this point. The candidates, as they were arranging to require control within the another Gadaa period, those men who are within the Gadaa cycle and who are of the fitting age when they reach the Rabba Review, are expected to marry. This grade divided into 2, Rabba, 32-35, and Dori Nadai, 49, a long-time ancient. Men are not permitted to marry sometime recently the 32nd year of the cycle, Rabba arrange. In spite of the fact that they may have fancy women as before long as they are able of pulling in them, and may as it were generate children in, Dori organize, or 35-39 years old. As pioneers of the Gadaa class, they were anticipated to play a noticeable part in warfare. Danisa. The fatherhood ceremony is practiced during this phase. The Danisa ceremony brings to a conclusion 40 a long time of progress of the Gadaa class. The essential stage at which individual Oromo gained art of leadership and philosophy was the Dori stage. One of the social benefits related to the Doromo was performing marriage. but they were not anticipated to have children basically at early a long time of this organized since age gap with their child would be abused. And the children may not act as senior counselor in case they were not born at the right time into the Gadaa cycle, Gogesa. Children that were born to sometime recently their father's start to Luba judgment were alluded as Ilman Jarsa that were diminished to a Hiria, peers, and included within the Gadaa organization as it were as Jaltaba, police. A generation, or the crevice between a father and child, is made up of 5 successive Gadaa stages and keeps going for 40 a long time on the Gadaa cycle. The primary 5 to 8 a long time were regularly spent in preparing, serving within the military, and engaging in certain economic activities. The adult stages, which go all the way up to the 11th stage, make up the remaining Gadaa grades. Adulthood was characterized by periods of social and political responsibility. 6. Gadaa, or Luba, leadership in politics and rituals. This can be the perfect age to be competent of taking care of and carrying out society tasks due to maturity, skill, and ability. The exchange of Boku Bali, or Bali Walira Fudu, is the passage into Gadaa review, wise wives. The Baku, or Bali, stands for ceremonial and political control. When referring to the entering classes called, we call this ritual the Bali Kenu Anguda Bursu takeover ceremony. And when alluding to the active classes, we call it the Bali Fudachu Angu Fudachu handover ceremony. At this level, women also have duties such as sons making foods and drinks, building Goma Aba Gadaa, huts, with Rabas. 7. Yuba, the second, Trianampav. The stage of partial retirement. Yuba is a large category. Like the Gami, Tam and Prai category mentioned earlier, Yuba subsumes more than one class. Yuba I 4956, Yuba 2 5764, Yuba 3 6572, Yuba 4 7380. 8. Gadaa Muji, 80 and above. The 11th and final stage of the Gadaa system is a very distinctive part of the theoretical life cycle. Their transition into the final grade is a formal ritual. The men who are leaving the Gadaa Muji grade are the fathers of the Gadaa. 6. The class in power up a grandfather of first grade, Dabale. After Gadaa Muji, men become Jarsa, retired men. In contrast, women or the wives of Jarsa become Jarti Chifiri. 2. Age sets. The Luba are cohorts of men born within the same time span. They learn together, serve together, and rise to leadership together. Each Abba Gadaa is the symbolic head of his Luba, representing its collective wisdom. Unity of the subsystems. The harmony among these subsystems sustains the Gadaa system. It links personal growth, social duty, and political leadership, forming the backbone of Oromo civilization. 3. Generational class or Gogesa or Misiensa. The Gogesa or generational class organizes society by lineage. Power rotates among 5 main classes, each holding power for 8 years before transferring to the next. This creates a 40-year generational cycle, ensuring continuity and equality. Together, Sadar Kali Gadaa, Gogesa, and Luba ensure that Oromo society remains organized, disciplined, and democratic. This structural balance reflects the Oromo principle of Naga, peace and harmony among people, nature, and God, or Waka. Today's lesson explored the structural components of the Gadaa system. Sadar Kali Gadaa, age grades, Gogesa, generational classes, and Luba, age sets. Each Oromo male advances through 11 age grades, each lasting 8 years, marking life's social and spiritual stages. The Gogesa system organizes society by lineage, ensuring rotational power among generational classes over a 40-year cycle. The Luba system groups men born in the same period who train, serve, and lead together. These subsystems function harmoniously, ensuring that every individual contributes according to age, wisdom, and experience. Together, they preserve social balance, discipline, and the principle of Naga, peace and harmony. Fantastic job, everyone. Your focus contributed greatly to today's productive lesson. Next, we will explore the Gadaa system as an example of classical African civilization. I'm eager to see you all in our upcoming session. Woodbag. Gadaa is such a much